Hello and welcome back to our Lord of the Rings LCG solo progression series, and today's quest is over the Misty Mountains Grim, which is the second scenario in the Overhill and Underhill Deluxe expansion, and the second out of 6 scenarios in the Hobbit saga. A quick reminder, in this series we're playing through each quest in chronological order of the game's initial release, and we'll only be using player cards that were available at the time of this quest's release. I'm calling this deck Giants and Boulders and Orcs Oh My because Bilbo and company will be traveling over the Misty Mountains Grim. They'll be encountering the Stone Giants with their Galloping Boulders, and then in Stage 3 we'll make our way down to Goblin Town. This is a Dwarf Swarm deck, pretty old-fashioned. Dane Ironfoot will be boosting all the dwarves that we hope to draw into our hand with Berevor's action. And Glowing just helps Dane to get things going early, like a Steward of Gondor in round 1, etc. Glowing is also a great target for Galloping Boulders. We can take that 3 damage and do something positive with it. I didn't use a very good tail because I really need these attachments, and a very good tail you just really don't want to discard a bunch of attachments that result in you losing the game. So I found it to be too risky. It's just a better approach, just with this deck at least, just to use Berevor's action and Daeron's runes to just draw the cards we need, maybe even Gandalf's response. Also, Dane Ironfoot is one of the 3 options for heroes that will for sure be able to defend against the Stone Giant in Stage 1 if Stone Giant got the shadow effect from Wind Whipped Rain. There's only 3 heroes that can survive that attack. That would be Beorn, Hero Beorn, Dane Ironfoot, and Frodo. Only 3 from the current progression, that is. So Dane is, because that has happened to me multiple times, Dane's a great hero because we just eliminate the possibility of losing immediately in round 1. And then, of course, just Dwarf Swarms are powerful in general. This quest is a bit hit or miss. Sometimes it's more difficult than others. Let's get to the quest and see how we do. Because we have Dane Ironfoot, while Dane is ready, dwarf characters get +1 attack and willpower. And just to help things, like my math skills aren't so great sometimes, I'm going to go ahead and indicate what the attack value is in total for any dwarf that that is boosted by Dane, assuming Dane is ready. During the quest in Underhill and Overhill, over the Mist. What is the name of this? Overhill and Underhill, that's what it's called. Bilbo Baggins has to be used, and the first player gains control of Bilbo. Bilbo Baggins cannot have resources or cannot gain resources from player card effects, and so we can use his resources to pay for neutral cards or even Baggins sphered cards. Let's also go ahead and shuffle the Stone Giant back into the deck. Dragon cards is being helpful, but just to keep things clear, the staging area doesn't actually have anything right now. We're going to keep this opening hand because Steward of Gondor is really what we would mulligan for, so that's a great opening hand. And let's look at a short rest. For setup, we shuffle the Over the Misty Mountains Grim and Western Lands encounter sets into one encounter deck and make it the active encounter deck. Then shuffle the Great Goblin and Misty Mountain Goblins encounter sets into a second encounter deck and set it aside. So this is that first deck as described. And then the second deck, comprised of the Great Goblin and Misty Mountain Goblins, is set out of play here. 30 cards that will come into play later. Side B, a short rest. After a refreshing stay in the House of Elrond, Bilbo and his companions resumed their quest for the Lonely Mountain, but to reach Erebor they first had to climb the high pass over the Misty Mountains. When revealed, each player may search his deck for 1 treasure card and add it to his hand. Shuffling our deck, then we advance to Stage 2. Now, in my channel, I'm not doing campaign at all. So even though I got the treasures from We Must Away or Break of Day, I'm not bringing them into this quest. I just treat each quest as a standalone. So it means we just advance. The Mountain Pass. When he peeped out in the lightning flashes, he saw that across the valley, the Stone Giants were out and were hurling rocks at one another for a game, and catching them and tossing them down into the darkness where they smashed among the trees far below or splintered into little bits with a bang. 16 progress to advance. When revealed, search the encounter deck for 1 copy of Stone Giant and add it to the staging area. So let's do that. Stone Giant. There are 3 of them. And so we grab one and we put it in staging. And let's look at this guy. He's pretty tough. 40 engagement and 4 threat and a lot of attack, defense, and health. While at least 1 Stone Giant is in the staging area, Galloping Boulders gains surge. And so let's look at Galloping Boulders. And just in general, treacheries, they're a little tough in this quest during stage 1. So Galloping Boulders, there are 4 of them. When revealed, the first player chooses a questing character. That character takes 3 damage and is removed from the quest. So again, glowing makes a great target against that, but Bilbo would leave play and we would lose the game. So we have to be careful. Also, Guffawing of Giants means that the Stone Giant engages us at the end of questing. So that one coming out early can be tough. And Windward Rain discards all attachment cards from play. The enemies aren't so tough other than just an additional couple of Stone Giants, but usually I don't have all 3 come out. Locations aren't a big deal at all. Okay, so now it says we have to reveal a card per player from the encounter deck and add it to the staging area. It's going to be a Suspicious Crow. When revealed, reveal the top card of the encounter discard pile and add it to the staging area if able. No discard pile yet, so that when revealed just fizzles. Resource phase. All right, we will go ahead and pay for this copy of Steward of Gondor, attach it to Dane Ironfoot, and exhaust it immediately. We'll go ahead and attach this Cram to Dane Ironfoot. So Cram is great in this deck because it's like Unexpected Courage. It just readies a hero. You have to discard Cram to ready the attached hero, but because of Erebor Hammersmith, we can usually grab this once it's discarded and recycle it. But it's free versus having to pay and get a Song of Travel out and all that to be able to play Unexpected Courages. We'll exhaust Bearvor to draw 2 cards. And then just think of what we want to do. I don't really want to put out a chump yet, because if we are forced to engage Stone Giant, we would lose it anyway, and Dane Ironfoot can defend no problem. I think we'll just quest with Glowing, and we're not going to send Bilbo. Let me think about this. Yeah, let's spend a resource from Bilbo Baggins' resource pool to put Song of Travel onto Dane Ironfoot. Then we'll spend 2 of his resources to play Sigil Minor. He's boosted. And now we're going to quest. This just gives us a little bit of protection from a potential Galloping Boulders surging into another Galloping Boulders, which would kill Bilbo. Okay, a Suspicious Crow, kind of getting lucky with these. When revealed, reveal the top card of the encounter discard pile and add it to the staging area if able. And we're not able to, no discard pile. No progress made, but our threat is way under the Stone Giant, so now we do have to deal with 2 Suspicious Crows. And we'll take one of them at least undefended. That's 1 damage. We'll put it on Glowing, and that way we get a free resource response after Glowing suffers damage. Add 1 resource to his resource pool for each point of damage he just suffered. And then this one as well, undefended, and no shadow effect, so another damage on Glowing, and we will get a resource out of that. Actually, let's put the damage on Bearvor, I think. Okay, so now we can attack for 2 and destroy 1 of these Suspicious Crows. We're not going to discard Cram just so that we can destroy another Suspicious Crow. Refresh, next round. Steward of Gondor, Bearvor draws 2 cards. And let's play from hand a Longbeard Elder. And then also a Erebor Record Keeper. And we will sneak attack Gandalf into play at the beginning of questing and draw 3 cards. Okay, that's good. We feel good about the fact that we have a Test of Will. If needed, we could play that. All right, let's quest. we can make a good bit of progress here. We reveal cave entrance, 10 progress made. We'll travel to cave entrance. Suspicious Crow will attack. We'll take it undefended. The defending player raises his threat by 2. And we'll put that damage on let's put it on Gandalf. Oh wait. He came back to our hand at the end of questing. So Gandalf does not take that damage. We'll put that damage on the Longbeard Elder. No, Scott, wait, what am I doing, guys? All right, it's late. So we'll put it on Glowing. He gets a resource out of it. Okay, now we can attack and destroy. Refresh, next round. All right, good. Another sneak attack. Drawing 2 cards with Barivore. And playing another Erebor Record Keeper. And I'd love to, rather than the Erebor Record Keeper, let's undo that. Let's just have played a Warden of Healing. We'll exhaust Warden of Healing to heal Glowing and Barivore. And we've still got, let's see, we want to hang on to the ability to play Test of Will. Let's play a Sigil Miner. And we're going to quest. And reveal Galloping Boulders. When revealed, the first player chooses a questing character. That character takes 3 damage and is removed from the quest. So let's just choose who we want. We can't do that to Glowing here. Can't do it to Bilbo. He'd leave play. So we'll put it on Erebor Record Keeper. It surges into Dreary Hills. We made 4 progress. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so we'll travel to Dreary Hills. We'll leave Stone Giant right there. Refresh. Next round. Steward of Gondor. Now I don't want to draw cards with Barivore because I want to use Feely's response. So 1, 2, 3. Let's play Feely, or Keely, I mean. After you play Keely from your hand during the planning phase, search your encounter deck for Feely and put him into play under your control. And so if I had Feely in my hand, I wouldn't be able to do this response because I would look in my deck and not find Feely there. But he is in my deck, so let's go ahead and take advantage of that response and put into play for free this Feely. Shuffle our deck. Okay, we'll draw 2 cards with Barivore. What do I have in my discard pile? We'll hang on to this resource, I think. Let's play Longbeard Elder. And we'll also attach a cram here to Dane Ironfoot. We have a couple of crams now on Dane. We'll just quest here. Let's go ahead and heal Glowing in case another one of these comes out. This Galloping Boulder, we could actually use Glowing's response for something there. Okay, 9 minus 2, I think that'd be 7. Let's go ahead and just send everybody. And we reveal Wind Whip Rain. When revealed, discard all non-treasure, non-objective attachments in play. I don't want to do that. I will play Test of Will and cancel that. 14 progress means 12 on the current quest, so we are at 23. This left play as soon as we place the progress on Dreary Hills, and so the forced effect does not fire, but the response does. After Dreary Hill leaves play as an explored location, Bilbo Baggins gains a resource. So we have completed the Mountain Pass in 4 rounds. Pretty quick there. Down to Goblin Town. Out jump the goblins. Big goblins. Great ugly looking goblins. Lots of goblins before you could say rocks and blocks. The Hobbit. When revealed, shuffle all encounter cards back into the encounter deck and set it aside inactive. So all cards from play and also the discard pile are shuffled back into the encounter deck. Then we move it to out of play. And then the second encounter deck becomes the active encounter deck. So that one that we set up during setup, the 30, becomes the new thematic encounter deck. And so, this is the Goblin Town cards. And now we search the encounter deck for the Great Goblin and add it to the staging area. Let's find him. There he is. He's in the staging area. Let's look at Great Goblin Forced. After the Great Goblin attacks, discard X cards from the encounter deck, where X is the number of players in the game. Add each goblin enemy discarded by this effect to the staging area. Okay, so that is it for side A. Side B says players cannot defeat the stage unless the Great Goblin is in the victory display, but if we defeat the stage, we've won the game, so we have to make 20 progress and add Great Goblin to the victory display. When revealed, reveal 3 encounter cards per player. However, Bilbo Baggins may spend X resources to reduce the total number of encounter cards revealed by X to a minimum of 1. So we can spend 2 resources from Bilbo's pool. When we do that, we can lower the revealed cards from 3 down to 1. So 1 card revealed, it is Goblin Driver. When revealed, the first player exhausts 1 character he controls. That'll have to be Dane Ironfoot. And so that is it for advancing to down to Goblin Town. Nowhere to travel. During the encounter phase, our threat is at 35, so both enemies will engage us and get shadow cards. We're going to go ahead and discard Cram and ready Dane Ironfoot. Then we're going to use our single copy of Sneak Attack to bring Gandalf into play. And I think trying to think if I want to just destroy Goblin Driver outright, or should I put the 4 damage on Great Goblin, and then I could just destroy Great Goblin. So let's put 4 damage on him from Gandalf's response. And now Dane Ironfoot will defend for 3 against not 3 damage. He has a defense of 3. 5 against 3. Defending player raises his threat by X. X is the number of goblin enemies engaged with him. That's 2. And so now this forced effect fires. After the Great Goblin attacks, discard X cards from the encounter deck. X is the number of players in the game. Add each goblin enemy discarded by this effect to the staging area. Is this a goblin? It is. Goblin Bent Swords enters play. It's not revealed. It's just added. All right, so now Goblin Driver is going to attack for 2. And we have plenty of health on Dane. I'm going to take this undefended. Well, let's go ahead and let's ready with Cram. And so, Goblin Driver will attack, and we're going to take it undefended. Defending player deals damage among characters he controls equal to the number of goblin enemies engaged with him. That's 2. Let's do this we'll do the shadow first. We'll put that 2 damage on Gandalf. Makes most sense. And then this undefended 2 attack we'll put on Glowing, and then that way we can use his response. After he suffers damage, add 1 resource to his resource pool for each point of damage he just suffered. Now we will exhaust Dane Ironfoot along with Gandalf to attack for 6 against 2. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, Dane does not boost himself if he's exhausted, so we just destroyed Great Goblin. And so he goes to the victory display. And at the end of combat, Gandalf comes back to hand. We discard shadows, refresh, and next round. Steward of Gondor, Bearvor draws us 2 cards. Let's go ahead and attach Boots of Erebor to Bilbo. This gives him +1 health. So we have this card in our deck because during the first round, if we happen to draw it, it means that Bilbo could take Galloping Boulders and not be destroyed, which could help us maybe keep from losing an ally or something. All right, I think it would be good to know what's coming. Let's play Hinnemarth River Song and exhaust Hinnemarth to see what is coming next. It's Front Porch. And we want to grab this cram, I think. Let's play 2 resources from Glowing's Pool to attach Narvi's Belt to Dane Ironfoot. And we'll exhaust Narvi's Belt to give Dane Ironfoot a lore resource icon. So 1, 2, we can play Erebor Hammersmith from hand. And when he enters play, we return the topmost attachment in any player's discard pile to his hand. We'll grab this cram and attach that to Dane Ironfoot. And we will also, we still have lore resource icon, a lore resource icon on Dane. Let's play this Erebor Record Keeper. We want to hang on to this resource for Test of Will. Well, actually, we know what's coming. We don't need Test of Will. But nothing else to really do. We can't afford, well, we could play Gandalf. Let's play Gandalf from hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll just destroy this Goblin Bent Swords. We might be able to just quest past everything right now. Let's do it. Let's quest. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we got it. We'll even quest with Dane and then discard Cram to ready him so that he is, boosting himself. And we reveal Front Porch. While it is the active location, players cannot attack goblin enemies, but there's this action that we don't have to worry about because we just made 25 progress. And it says players cannot defeat this stage unless the Great Goblin is in the victory display. If the players defeat this stage, they have won the game, which we just did in 5 rounds. I think this is quick as I've won it. Usually 6 to 10 rounds. And this was one of the easier playthroughs. Sometimes, you have to deal with a stone giant. We didn't have to. I don't remember. Did we deal with a stone giant? Did one engage us? I don't think so. But anyway, that's it. That's the quest. Can be more difficult, can be longer. 10 rounds would be a long playthrough. But sometimes there's a lot more combat than what we experienced. But as you can see, just Dwarf Swarm is hard to overcome for the encounter deck. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough, and I hope you'll join me again next time. Have a great day. Bye.